So we try to manage it in the best way possible by talking to the bodies at national level, so both the Erasmus Plus national agency in Sweden, the school authorities and national level, as well as the Ministry of Education. So, and of course this requires pretty long processes when it comes to approaching these organizations, as well as explaining the case and ensuring that some action is taken. So what we tried to do in the framework of the project was moving forward some of the activities, in particular the testing phase, which was the part of the project that was directly affected by this situation, trying to gain more time in order to sort out the problem, or at least address it.
To comply with the new situation that we were facing was not easy, and there was not much we could do. I could not come here and persuade Swedish families to host Italian students when their children were not coming for such a long period. And of course this was something that the Swedish school had to deal with, and with all the difficulties that this involves. I would say that what we meant to do in the project has been possible, and what we meant with the project was to have some mobilities that could function as pilot for what we had planned to do together. Of course, what we had planned to do together had to be reframed into a smaller frame in some cases. For other cases, it has remained more or less the same. So the final evaluation of the project, I think, will be positive in terms of building a roadmap for those that want to undertake such a process in the future. Of course, a few students were very disappointed that they couldn't come, but I guess with the new Erasmus plan we'll be able to make them happy next year.
So we have been working quite a lot with that, and at the end we got 3 families, and in the beginning we would like to have 10 families, but it ended up to 3 families who could receive students. And we think it has to do with that Sweden couldn't actually participate in the long term, because earlier exchanges we had that's been for a week or so, there's been no difficulty in getting host families. So maybe it was this long-term project and that we couldn't participate that actually was a hindrance. So, but in the end, I think we got some very nice families, and I think our Italian students do like the families, and so it's a fairy tale at the end.
I mean, there was an atmosphere of collaboration that could be faced much better than what was. And the main reason why at the end we had to make an emergency plan, because we decided to adopt another strategy too late. We could have understood 6 months before the mobility that was not possible, and create another alternative. We created another alternative, but that was in 20 days. It was completely different.
Well, let's say that there are different types of problems and situations arising maybe in when testing activities which are complex, involve a number of organizations, a number of people, and even beyond the school. So it's important to address them as soon as they arise, so not wait too long for them to then get out of control. That would be the first element. Then when it comes, it depends also on the nature of the questions and unexpected problems. For example, also the identification of the families or the matching process or for example, just the alignment, or not so much the alignment of the programs, but more the actual alignment of the programs in that specific part of the school year. In our case, this was also a question that we addressed, but addressed quite late. So we were focused very much on addressing other issues pertaining to the preparation and the organization, the identification of families, the selection of students. There was a lot of focus on that. And so the question of alignment with the rest of the program, let's say, came up on a relatively late stage. So this created also some difficulties, but which were overcome by the partners through a strong collaboration. We tried to circulate information as much as possible, and also try to address, as I said, the questions as soon as they popped up.
Okay, yes, we did develop a sort of response to arising challenges, because this was required and is usually required in the project, in the European Erasmus project writing. I guess this consisted in sitting down and writing a list of the possible issues that may arise, and of course this list was to was to prove incomplete. As I said, it is nearly impossible to predict whatever may happen. I would say that our response was at least partially successful, but this is a thing upon which we have some work to do for the future. I realized that many things were, I wouldn't say left to themselves, but maybe I myself was not ready to handle situations that involved the participation of so many people and so many different stakeholders. So having teachers, students, my principal in the Swedish school, principal in the Madrid school, parents, all at a time to solve a problem is, whatever you do, you immediately generate a higher level of complexity. So probably a little roadmap for procedures or whatever you want to call it will have to be developed and tested for effectiveness.
In the future, for a similar project like this, to avoid some problem that we had it, and okay, we have to change completely the project and the logistic of the project, at least for the mobility. But for me as a teacher, the mobility of students was the essential part of this project, was basically to verify before the precondition that this aspect, this mobility could be easy done. The legitimacy problem of the Swedish school was probably something, I don't know, I mean, probably we had to have guarantee before starting a project.
The role played by the Spanish partner in the project, where they of course came in order to take the role of hosting partner for some of the students. This was, of course, helpful in order to ensure that as many students as possible could participate in the testing phase, since in both countries, so both in Sweden and Spain. So even this was originally not planned, and of course this allowed also to meet the expectations of those that were selected in Italy. So of course this is also another element to lesson learned, I would say. I don't know whether it's directly related to a solution that we found, but certainly also the communication aspect between the school and the family is an element of great importance, and this is something that has to be addressed in a proper way, and also ensuring that the right information and the right expectations are created, so not that so that the families are aware of the process and of what is expected from them, and the students as well, of course, but especially the families, so that if there is a situation that is different from the one that was originally planned, like in our case where we had less places available for the testing phase.
My response to the concern of the long procedures and lots of efforts and the attempts at creating a well-functioning model for mobilities could be that in a way someone must open a door, and I feel that probably this is what we have done so far. I mean that starting from next year procedures will be already known, and that some praxis will be consolidated, and also the style with which you approach problems in the name of flexibility, as I said, and will be probably accepted on a wider basis. So everybody should be let free to decide in what measure he or she wants to participate in the organization of such a complex activity.
Want to look ahead, you have to also think of what are the other opportunities that nowadays you can take advantage of when it comes to, as a school, when it comes to Erasmus or the international activities. And certainly this is a way forward for the schools in terms of reaching a higher level of capacity when it comes to international relations. For the teachers, the takeaway from this, I think the added value is for them in this process has been certainly that of learning, understanding more in depth how schools in the other countries are organized, and how lessons and methods are used in the partner schools in the other countries, and this has been also a learning process for them. It has been a learning process in terms of also learning to interact with teachers and from other countries and different cultures, connected to their profession. So it's different approaches, different backgrounds, and I think for all the teachers has been a positive process. For the students, well, we are still in the middle of the testing phase, but I have the impression that the more they actually go forward with their experience, the the more positive they become, and of course towards the great opportunity that they've had, and I think they have learned a lot. They are learning not only in terms of knowledge, contents, but also about cultures, and they will certainly see their schools in a different way when they come back.